By 2050, 66% of the world's population will be living in cities. This means the number of people living in urban areas in 2050 will be close to the entire world population today. Imagine a city full of pollution, lacking green space, and lacking the necessary sustainable infrastructures to allow for a livable, healthy condition. Cities use less than 2% of the Earth's surface, but consume over 75% of the resources available globally. Green urban design. You may be wondering, how did all of this start anyway? Many people like to think Frederick Law Olmsted had a major part to play. He is widely considered the father of U.S. landscape architecture because he was involved in many projects and was the co-designer of New York's breathtaking Central Park. Olmsted viewed the park as a refuge from urban industrial life. However, on a darker note, the actual design of Central Park can be viewed as quite controversial, as the original inhabitants were forced to leave the area. Olmsted wanted his parks to reflect the natural environment that he experienced growing up, and he wanted to give that to the urban jungle. First, he had to set some ground rules to allow the park to be exactly what he envisioned. No commercial vehicles, no walking or grazing animals on the grass, no fishing or swimming in the park lake, no picking flowers, no sports, and no music on the Christian Sabbath. You may be questioning now, how does this relate to the environment, and how does Central Park help with environmental efforts? Over the last 150 years, the park has performed ecosystem services for the city, such as absorbing and filtering polluted stormwater runoff, diminishing Manhattan's heat island effect, cleansing the air of particulates, reducing noise, providing habitat for plant and animal communities, including pollinating insects and migrating birds, and metabolizing mountains of organic waste and sequestering carbon. Essentially, the park is not just a simple green area in the vast urban jungle of New York City, but instead a green infrastructure that aids in sustaining all human life on the island, and it is connected to the larger city politically, economically, culturally, and ecologically. How has the push to become more ecologically sustainable pushed cities towards green urban design? The main goal of urban planning is to create sustainable metropolitan spaces through responding to urban change, mediating between public and private interests. Let's look at Smart Cities, which is a city that aims to make itself smarter by being more sustainable, efficient, equitable, and livable. Let's fly over to Europe to check out what they're doing. Green roofs have been very popular in Europe, which are engineered systems that typically contain a series of layers. They are a waterproof and root-proof membrane, which contain a drainage layer for excess water, filter fabric, a growth medium, different than soil, as well as plants. Green roofs address concerns about heat, runoff, and other issues. Now let's travel to Singapore to check out their use of smart city ideas. Due to geography, high-density living in this city-state is inevitable, so it's about incorporating green and sustainable elements, including interspersing parks, rivers, and ponds amid high-rises to give the illusion of more open space. Builders and construction companies follow an incentive program that replaces greenery lost on the ground from development with greenery in the sky and high-rise terraces, so that all development comply with 100% greenery replacement policy. One example of green infrastructure is the Super Tree Grove, a canopy of artificial solar-powered trees up to 50 meters high that are in the 250-acre landscaping project known as Gardens by the Bay. They act as vertical gardens that are air-venting ducts for nearby conservatories and collect rainwater. Moreover, the super trees house 162,900 plants of over 200 different species. So while America is often thought of as God's country and Australia calls itself the lucky country, Singapore would like to project itself as an intelligent island. These labels are clear reflections of the ethos of the states themselves. Although it would be a difficult task to reach big-scale goals in the future, individuals can take smaller steps to help create more green spaces. An easy thing that we can do on a small scale is to coordinate community gardens to increase green spaces, especially in large urban areas such as New York or Singapore. Additionally, green roofs are a great way to save energy. Since simulation results showed that an extensive green roof could reduce energy consumption of the building and achieve a net savings of 14.6%, the inclusion consideration of energy costs and the analysis further support the extensive green roofs as an option with lower life cycle cost. The extensive green roof thus demonstrates a better option for building design in Singapore's climate. Another great way to get involved would be to contribute or create a community garden. A community garden not only responds to certain needs of low-income citizens with regards to food in your town, but it also creates meaningful urban spaces in your town through ecological restoration and landscape design. Although you cannot create a Central Park-sized escape from the urban hustle and bustle, on a smaller scale, a community garden can provide many benefits environmentally and economically to your community. A person can also use air quality monitoring, energy use optimization, electricity, waste, and water tracking systems. These implications reduce results approximately 10 to 15% fewer GHG emissions, 30 to 130 fewer kilograms of solid waste per person each year, and 25 to 80 liters of water saved by each person per day.